Hello friends, in this video we start the second precedence of state legislature. Okay, so we are on the presiding officers. Now presiding officers in legislative council is known as speaker and a deputy speaker along with the panel of deputy speakers, or in a legislative council we have chairman, deputy chairman and panel of deputy chairmen. Okay, then a speaker in legislative assembly is elected one. He holds the office throughout the entire life of legislative assembly until unless a vacancy originates. Vacancy can originate when he ceases to be a member of legislative assembly, or ceases to be a member of assembly, resigns to deputy speaker, or is removed by resolution passed against him. Then we look at the what are the functions of a speaker. Now of uh, the functions of speaker in legislative assembly are quite significant, as he maintains the decorum and the order, regulates the proceedings. He maintains the decorum, order, business, and regulates proceeding. Final interpreter of Constitution of India, rules and precedences, legislative conventions in assembly for the convenience of rules and procedures in the for maintaining rules and procedure in the assembly. Then quorum is decided by him. If quorum is if he finds that quorum is not complete, then it is a duty of speaker or presiding officer to suspend the session. Then secret meeting he can call. Then money bill, his decision on money bill is final. His decision on defection of an MLA MP would be final. Also he is the chairman. He appoints the chairman of all the committees, and himself is chairman to business advisory committee, rules committee and general purpose committee. Okay, now we come to deputy speaker. Now deputy speaker again is an elected one. Vacancies again would be on the three fronts. In this time he will be resigning to speaker. He takes the duty when the speaker's post is vacant or in his absence. Okay. Similarly for deputy chairman and chairman, there is no difference in legislative councils. Same are the duties. Now we look at the sessions. First is summoning. Summoning is done by governor. Minimum maximum 6 month gap can be there in between two sessions. Then adjournment is of two type: adjournment and adjournment sine die. It is done by speaker. Adjournment former is for hours, days. However, sine die is for infinite time. Prorogation ends the session there and itself. It is done by governor. Dissolution ends the assembly itself. Then uh, quorum means the minimum number of strength required so that legislative assembly or legislative council can work. It is 10 members or 1/10 of the member, whichever is more. Okay. Then we also look at what happens to the bills pending when a legislative council or legislative assembly dissolves. See, this is where it originates. This is pending, and what would be the result if a bill originates in legislative council or legislative assembly but is pending in legislative assembly, then it lapses. It is originating in legislative assembly, pending in legislative council, again lapses. Now only there are two things only in this case. See, legislative assembly, wherever would be associated, whether it is in origination or pending, it would lapse. However, exceptions are ki when the bill has been approved by both and is pending for governor or president. Okay. And the third one is कि legislative council में ही originate हुआ हो and legislative council में ही pending हो, then it will not lapse. Okay, this was for this video. Now friends, we look at the language of state legislature. Constitution of India says कि wait, yes, Constitution of India says कि three languages, Hindi, English or the official language of the state, can be used for transaction of the business. Mother tongue can be allowed by presiding officers, and rest is not important in it. Rights of Minister of Advocate General. It says कि rights are He can participate in proceeding of the houses which he is not a member, and he who is not either can participate in the proceeding of both the houses. Okay, uh, we now look at the bills. Okay, how do they are? See, any ordinary bill can be uh, uh, can be introduced by minister or a private member. Okay, it would pass through three readings: first, second, third reading. Then, in the same when the same bill is passed to second house, it will go through the same proceedings of 1, 2, 3 second reading. There are four options possible. Uh, it may be passed, it may be passed with amendment, reject altogether, or may not take any action in it. Now here we have to understand one thing is, in state legislature, legislative assembly is very powerful, and legislative council is only an advisory or dilatory body. It has been given these connotations. Now let me tell you why. The reason of this is, see, if legislative assembly passes a bill, so legislative assembly ने एक bill pass किया, it goes to legislative council. Now legislative council can do three things. It can either reject it, it can pass it with some amendments, or it can take no actions. Okay, now if the deadlock has to happen, suppose legislative assembly do not agree in the first case with the legislative council's amendment. So first case. Second way, legislative council has rejected altogether, or legislative council has not taken any action for 3 months. In such a case, legislative assembly needs to again pass the resolution. Okay, the motion. Now if again legislative council do not take action for 1 month, or rejects, or passes it with some amendments which are not liked by legislative assembly, then bill automatically passes. So ultimate goal, so the ultimate power of passing an ordinary bill is vested in legislative assembly. Okay, this is the major difference between legislative council and Rajya Sabha. Okay, so without Rajya Sabha, no bill can be passed other than money bill. However, in case of legislative council, such power has not been given to it. Second point is, constitution does not provide for any joint sitting session between legislative council and legislative assembly. So here also legislative assembly is much powerful. Then assent of governor. This we have done in governor chapter. He has four options: assent, give assent, withhold assent, may consideration. President. Second time, if passed, have to be gone or to for the president. Now president ke paas, if it has been asked for assent of president, he can withhold, can give his assent, can ask for reconsideration, and state legislature would have to take reconsider it within 6 months. Okay, if he sends for reconsideration. Now we come to the money bill part. Okay, first part, constitution gives a special procedure for passing money bill. Money bill cannot originate in legislative council, can only be introduced in legislative assembly only on recommendation of governor. Remember this point. Such a bill has to be a government bill or a minister bill, cannot be private bill. After money bill, after money bill is transmitted to legislative council, it can only give suggestions, recommendations within 14 days. Otherwise, it automatically gets passed. Finally, when it is passed to governor, he cannot return it for reconsideration. He has to either he can either withhold, give his assent, or reserve for presidential assent. President too again cannot return it back. Okay, for reconsideration. Now we look at some of the powers regarding state legislature. Sorry, in this section we'll be comparing parliament and state legislature. First one is regarding the ordinary bill. So it can first of all, it can be introduced in both the houses. This is same, introduced by both private members. This is also again same. It has passed three readings. Here also it is same. Now fourth is again same. When it is deemed to have there is nothing ki, it says ki it is deemed to have passed only when both the houses have passed. Okay, with or without amendment. Now the fourth one is the fifth one is a different. See, deadlock between the houses have take place. So there is a session, there is a session uh, joint sitting is possible here. It is written in very very detailed, so we don't have that much time. Okay, here it is explicitly told ki joint sitting is possible. Here joint sitting is not possible. Then Lok Sabha cannot override Rajya Sabha by passing a second time. However, here it can do. Legislative Assembly can do it. Uh, Again, this point is a continuation of that joint session itself, okay, and nothing special in it. See, regarding money bill, all the provisions in state legislature and in parliament are absolutely same. Now, in the last session, we see what is the position of legislative council, and we study in two spheres, spheres where council is equal to assembly, where it is unequal to assembly. So, equality you need not to be much worried about, because in passage of ordinary bill, approval of ordinances, selection of ministers, consideration, enlargement of jurisdiction of state public service commission. This is very important. This here question can ask enlargement of jurisdiction of state public service commission, consideration of finance reports, etc. It is the unequal part where we have to give more attention to. First is money bill. uh, 14 days of money bill. This is first 4 points are continuation of money bill itself, okay. Then in fifth point say ki in case of ordinary bill, power is more, we just told. Then a demand of grants cannot be passed. Then council cannot remove council of minister passing, and no confidence motion can only be passed in assembly. Then again, the members of legislative council do not participate in elections of president of India. This is very very important. You need to remember it. Then council has no effective say in ratification of constitutional amendment bills, in which state legislatures approval is needed. So legislative council has nothing to do in it much. Okay. Finally, very existence of council depends on the will of legislative assembly and can be abolished on the on recommendation of legislative council, legislative assembly. Then finally in this we are studying ki why there has been so much difference between legislative council and Rajya Sabha. Here has been told ki Rajya Sabha is very important for federal equilibrium, and is a representation of states, while this is absent in case of legislative council, because it is just an advisory or a dilatory body, okay. uh, Council is a heterogeneously constituted, while Rajya Sabha is homogeneously constituted, and in its members are come from various backgrounds having different interests, and it shows its weakness, okay. Certain words have been used regarding the keeping the weak, powerless, insignificant, and role position of legislative council. It is called described as secondary chamber, costly ornamental luxury, white elephant. Critics and a refuse. Critics say it is a refuse for unpopular, rejected, and ambitious politicians. Okay. Uh, some positives are there to check careless, hasty legislation and facilitate eminent and prominent experts who don't want to go through what election uh, procedures. Then we have privileges. Privileges are two collective privileges: a right to publish reports, exclude strangers, regulate own procedure, punish the members for breach, then receive information, and institute orders. So these are irrelevant from prelims perspective. Individual, we can say ki cannot be arrested before beginning of 40 days or end of the such session. मतलब 40 दिन पहले और 40 दिन बाद they cannot be arrested. Okay, they have freedom to speech, freedom of speech in state legislature. They can exempt from jury services. Now what you need to do is we will be covering all these privileges when we cover parliament of the country. Okay, thank you very much. So this is the ending of state legislature. Thank you.